Football League.
Tonight's the night for football, everybody. The bright lights are on, the stage is set, and the crowd is ready. It's Monday Night Prime Time on EA Sports. As the work week kicks off tonight, another week of football comes to an end with a Monday Night Prime Time contest between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers. On one sideline, we've got to look at the head coach of the visiting Raiders. These guys off to the kind of start they needed this season. They're 3-1 thus far. Along the opposing sideline, the head coach of the Chargers. These guys no doubt happy to be back home after they took the loss on the road last week. With Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scotch. This is Chase McLaughlin on to handle the opening kick. And here we go on EA Sports. It's a return from the 7. Shoots away from one. They're going to bring him down as he gets it to the 33. So now out comes the Charger offense for their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by someone known for putting up numbers since he entered the league back in 2020, the Oregon product, Justin Herbert.
Last week, Kate, you won't call his effort wasted, never. But you wish a game like that would have come in a win instead of showing up in a contest they ended up dropping. 2 touchdowns, no picks. That's the type of game that wins are typically built off of.
And that's only 1 yard up the middle. Gonna be second down. Now we'll take a moment to check out his numbers on the ground from a week ago.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
Following that little 2-yard run, it's 2nd and 8. A play fake. Now Herbert to throw. Big strike here to Moore. And he's going to have this down to the 42-yard line. It's a 24-yard gash, and it gives them the first down.
That's a statement throw right there. A statement throw that lets the opposing defense know it's not just going to be check down Charlie today. They're going to be willing to push the ball down the field, and this defense better respond.
And he's caught after a gain of about 2. The former #1 pick, Trayvon Walker on the stop.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
It's Hampton on 2nd. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. They got 2 yards there, and that leaves them with 3rd down and 5.
Gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 5.
Set. Black 80, black, 300.
Working from the gun here, it's Herbert. Has him on the quick hitter. And he runs this to the 25 before being brought down. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
Out of the gun, here's Hampton. And they're going to be humbled here on 1st down. Going to wind up losing yards on this play.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
Brought in right side by Moore. And they get this down to the 12-yard line before being stopped. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks. And that right there is about the best you can hope for against double coverage. Good chunky yards, and more importantly, Brock, you don't get burned taking a risk.
Yeah, it's really the defense that gets burned, and that is just demoralizing. You got double coverage, you got what you want, and 2 guys can't stop one.
And he runs this one in. Touchdown, Los Angeles! The Chargers finish up an excellent opening series. Dicker tacks on the extra point. And the Chargers will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. Here's Kevontae Turpin on the return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. So out head the Raiders for their first possession. And they'll be let out by someone that we'll get a look at here, this second-year passer.
He's one of the select group of quarterbacks where when he takes the field, everyone, and I mean everyone, takes notice. He's part of the game's elite and the game's most important position. And it really is a spectacle, Kate. Anytime he leads an offense out.
His first throw is an interception. And the Chargers get the football as he makes his third interception of this season. What a call for their first pass of the game. It would have been a big hitter if they completed it, Brock, but just not the right touch on that football, and it ends with an interception.
You could just tell these cover guys, they've been waiting for their first chance to go get some work done in this one. They did their homework, number one. And number two, Kate, as Russell Wilson loves to say, the separation was in the preparation.
Last run got him 3. Here's 2nd and 7. On the play fake, it's Herbert. It's caught. This is Ladd McConkey. And he's going to be driven out of bounds. The gain gets this down inside the 35. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Herbert now off the play fake. Throw left side, complete. And this is down to the 28 before the defense halts it.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
Running it with Hampton. Pop behind the line here on 2nd down, which is only going to make things tougher for this 3rd down coming up. That one felt kind of counterintuitive there, Brock. They load up the line with that extra blocking, and then the run goes out to the edge anyway.
That's right. You put 2 tight ends on the field, yeah, you can live with a stalemate. It's hard to move people in the NFL, but you do not want to go backwards.
Well, it looks like the defense jumps just before the snap there. Broke the plane before the snap, and that's going to give the offense some free yardage. Penalty almost gave them a new set of downs, Brock. After the flag, all they need is a yard here on 3rd. Looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And they get to him again! And a couple of really good plays, Brock, made back-to-back behind the line to bring up 4th down. Cameron Dicker out for the Chargers now to attempt this field goal. This is going to be a 46-yarder.
A 46-yard attempt.
Dicker connects there. Hold on, though. There's a flag down here. Although, if this is on the defense, Brock, they're probably just going to decline it and keep that make. A fortunate break for them as they get a gift with roughing the kicker. Their offense heading back out to keep things going. You hate to see this on 4th down for that defense, roughing the kicker. And now they've got a first inside the red zone. They'll run here following the penalty. Now he continues to find no traction on the ground here, Brock, as they bring him down for no gain.
Now might be a good spot to remind everybody, about for the 1000th time, how much better athletes these D tackles are today, Kate. A decade or 2 ago, they just ate up space. Now,
and that is a Los Angeles touchdown. The Chargers pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive. Dicker's extra point is up and good. And the Chargers drive out to an early 14-0 lead.
14. Raiders, nothing.
Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away.
For the Chargers.
He fields it from the 8. And a decent run back is going to end as they bring him down inside the 30. Now for the 2nd time this game, we get a look at the Raiders offense. The Las Vegas offense is set. 1st and 10. And a big setback for them to overcome early, Brock, giving them points off that interception. And for a quarterback, a tough way to start the game as well. They got to shake that off.
Yeah, but this is where you really do start to see just the cream of the crop. The quarterbacks that are the best in this league flush, no matter what the circumstances are. But especially the negative ones, you flush them away and you go persevere.
To throw here on 1st down. Completed over the middle. On the move, past the 40. There he goes, right sideline. He makes it in for the touchdown. The Raiders reach pay dirt for the first time this game. Brian Thomas Jr., the touchdown. So no mistaking that play call, Brock. They send everybody on deep goes, and it winds up paying off. What a play.
And you'd think on the other side defensively they'd be ready for this. But this is truly a breakdown in the secondary. They're just not able to make a play on the ball in the air. And the end result, as you said, a big play and a touchdown.
On is Chase McLaughlin for the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Raiders chop the lead in half. It's down to 7.
14. Raiders 7. Chase McLaughlin set to kick off.
McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. Return starts at the 9. And he gets it up beyond the 20, but boy, did they plant him a few inches into the ground at the end of that run. Now LA getting its offense all set to go. And that lead they've got, Brock, they are never going to have to worry about losing it if they keep scoring every time they touch this football.
Is that how it works?
It surprisingly is. You know, if you have the lead and you don't lose it, you win.
And that type of start, well, you wanted all 17 games of a season, but you're lucky to get it more than once.
And it's not just you quarterbacks, Brock Huard, who got to have short memories. You tell me this too, defenses need them sometime as well.
Yeah, 100%. You give up a big run, well, too bad. No time to dwell on it because you got to line up, buckle up that chin strap, and try to knock them backwards.
That one's complete, Amari on Hampton. And it's a nice game, but still not enough for the first. Nickel set here from the Raiders, 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
Herbert from the gun. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete. Now on 4th down, A.J. Cole headed out to handle the punt. And we'll see what kind of first impression he makes tonight. He punted a couple of times last week in their loss, and now gets this one away. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. Now the Raider offense headed back to the field. They were able to say mission accomplished on their last series, finding that end zone, but the work, well, it starts all over again right now.
And you know this, Kate, from our years together of doing this. I'm a firm believer of call it till they stop it. It doesn't mean you have to innovate right away. Call the same plays until they stop them because they proved last drive they couldn't.
2nd and 10 now from the 32 after the incompletion.
Let's go now. 45, White. 10 seconds.
They'll run. First give to Zach Charbonnet. Gain of about 8 here. Nice pickup, but he stopped a second before he can move those chains.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
Here we ready.
It's a design boot. He rolls to his right. Hits him downfield. This is Thomas. And he fights his way down to the 35 before the defense can get him out. It's a 24-yard gash, and it gives them the first down.
Here we go.
Pass play coming here. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
I think those big old boxing gloves might have made a better catch and better call than receiver gloves right there for that one. It is going to be a fight to hang on the ball, and we just saw physicality personified.
And again, it's going to hit the ground. Incomplete. Looking for his running back, and 2 straight incompletions. It made this 3rd down.
That play right there, Kate, that just goes to show you can't take any completion for granted. Even some of the shortest passes in the game plan.
43. Check.
Here he goes, 3rd and long. Hits him on the out route. And they get this all the way down to the 16-yard line. They get 19 on that pickup. And that's a Vegas first down.
A gain of 19 yards. First down, Las Vegas.
From the gun, Charbonnet gets it. And he got what he could there. Call it about 4 yards on first down. And that's going to do it for our first quarter here on Monday Night Primetime. The Chargers have an early lead. We're back to SoFi right after this. We're back and excited to start this second quarter. You excited? We're excited. Raiders in a nice spot here to put up some points.
Black, 95. Hut, hut.
On second down, a run with Charbonnet. And this is headed the wrong way. They're going to lose yards here, and it's going to bring up third down. The presence of those tight ends works both ways, Brock. You know this. Gives them more blockers up front, but it also clues the defense in to be ready for that run.
Yeah, you can put 7 blockers up there, even put 8, I don't know, 9. All the blockers in the world, but if they don't work in concert together to create a lane, it doesn't matter.
Got his man. Thomas has it. And he's going to have enough for the first down. Not by much, but he got it. That's all that matters. Sets him up with a first and goal.
Set, ready.
Goal to go. They're passing. From the pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And it's step 1 towards a goal line stand. Still going to need a couple more, though. Second and goal coming up.
When they were in their defensive meetings this week, that's exactly how you draw it up. Play sound zone defense. Give that quarterback nowhere to go. Let that pass rush get home.
The loss sets him up at the 9-yard line. It's second and goal.
Ready.
Setting up to throw. He's got it. And he's in. Touchdown, Las Vegas. The Raiders can tie it up in the second after cutting into the lead. McLaughlin's extra point is up and good. And the Raiders tie things up at 14.
Chase McLaughlin set to kick off.
So we've got a tie ball game now as they send this away. As this at the 6. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Charger offense making its way to the field. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that first down play.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, that came at the perfect time.
And he's short of the first after a mile gain.
The goal of that little drag route is to get him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. That picked up a good chunk, and it was nearly a big play.
Go.
Herbert now to throw on third. And this time they're going to get to him before he can get that pass away as he goes down. A.J. Cole on the punt. And he'll try to hit this one well. And it ends up a good return for him. Up past their own 40. The Raiders have their offense back out there. And that last drive, no answer for what they were doing through the air. So expect some tighter coverage this time around. Here's ETN to begin the drive. And he gets a few on the plays forward.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Going to lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on second.
Here we go. Set. 50. Green. Hut.
This is Charbonnet heading right into enemy territory and a yard at most from the first. That brings up third down.
He's across midfield to the 49-yard line. That's a gain of 6. Brings up third and inches.
Yellow. 43. Yellow. Hut.
Shotgun snap. They'll throw. That's caught for the first. And he's taken down at the 30. It's a gain of 19 on the play. And the Raiders are going to have a first down.
19 yards. First down, Raiders.
52. Blaster. 6. Blue striker. Hut.
He's going to throw this one. And he overshoots his man. It's incomplete.
Intended
Well, he already has himself one interception in his game, partner, and throws like that are going to find him another if he isn't careful.
Yep, those are the throws you want to intersperse, kind of sprinkle into your passing game, because if they become the norm and you're constantly thrown into coverage, that's when one pick becomes two, two becomes three, and on and on and on.
It's a screen pass. Charbonnet still has room inside the 15, and he's finally hauled down at the 12. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a first down.
Vegas, first down.
Set, ready. 60 red. 60 red. Ready.
From the red zone on first. Throw is caught. Touchdown, Vegas. The Raiders take a second quarter lead. Brock Bowers, the touchdown. McLaughlin tacks on the extra point. And the Raiders break that tie and now lead by 7.
Chargers, 14. Chase McLaughlin set to kick off.
McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. Brings in the kick at the 9. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. Out comes the offense now for the Chargers. And they're a touchdown back, Brock, as they take over down 21-14. First and 10. Here's Herbert. Short pass brought in. And he's tackled for a short gain.
That's not a big completion on a stat sheet, but that's a big contested, what I call gritty catch right there. And that's what the best tight ends will get you.
Lion.
Herbert with a blitz coming. He gets this to Michael Mayer. And he's going to be stopped right around the 37. They get an even 10 on that play. And that's going to be good for an LA first down. So after plenty of scoring already, we have reached the 2-minute warning. More on Monday Night Primetime in just a moment. New set of downs from the 37.
Set.
A play fake. Now Herbert to throw. He puts some juice on it. That's complete inside the 35-yard line. Goes for 32 yards. And that's going to give the Chargers the first down.
I try to remind you a time or two, Kate, that you always got to start your read from the secondary forward. You got to see what the safeties are doing. If you're going to throw a ball in the middle third, deep downfield like that, you have to have tremendous awareness of where those safeties were. And the QB just nailed it.
He's pushed straight ahead, and that's maybe a yard at most. Jeremy Chin there on the stop. Need a better result than that last run. It's 2nd and 8. Play action now for Herbert. In trouble now, and the ball is out. And the Raiders get to it. It's a foot race into the red zone. And Vegas takes it back for a touchdown. The Raiders grow their lead just before halftime. Like a freight train leaving the station after scooping up that fumble. Oh, he got moving on his way to the end zone, Brock. Nice hustle from the big man.
Is there anything more fun than seeing these big old human beings get their chance to get on a scoreboard? You see how it just ignites everybody.
McLaughlin attack on the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Raiders double their lead to 14.
Chargers, 14.
Nice little energy on their sideline after that fumble return scored. And with plenty of energy, he'll send this one away. Return starts at the 9. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line. Possession switching back to the LA offense as they head out. They're trailing, but there's enough time, Brock, that they could get a scoring drive to attack that here before the break. Chargers getting set. 1st and 10.
Set. Wide end.
Working from the gun here. It's Herbert. Throwing the outright complete. And they're going to bring him down just a moment before he's able to break it across midfield. Timeout called by the Chargers. They're first. And they can take a moment to try to build more momentum after getting the first. Great start to this drive. They're up in the neighborhood of midfield after just one play. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to to jar it loose. Incomplete. A tough one to retain through that hit. So that brings up second down.
Set.
Back to the air. Herbert. Going with a screen to Hampton. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. They gain 11 on that play. And that's going to be good for an LA first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Set.
Now Herbert again. Has him on the quick hitter. And not much doing. He stopped quickly.
I'm not going to lie. I know they got a completion, and completions, you never turn them down. But to make that throw for those yards in the double coverage, it's way too much risk for that reward.
Second down now, 7 to go.
Go.
From the pistol, it's Herbert. McConkey's got it again. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. LA uses a timeout here. It's second. So a new set of downs. Here we go. First and 10.
First down. First and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Herbert to throw once more. Throw left side, complete. And he'll go down here at the 16.
Hey, you like these results on first. That completion right there, right in the window where all options are now available to you on second down. That playbook wide open.
It's Herbert once more. That is an LA touchdown. The Chargers make it a one-score game before halftime. Glad McConkey with a touchdown. Dicker tacks on the extra point. And the Chargers chop the lead in half. It's down to 7.
Chargers 21.
And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Turpin with a return. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Raiders going to get the football one final time in the first half. They're up by 7. Let's see if they choose to rest on that and just go into the locker room. He's throwing deep to the left side. They connect on the deep shot. And this is across midfield. They're going to stop him at that 45-yard line. And now the Raiders call for the first of their timeouts. Working on first down. And the stop is made, but not until he reaches that 17-yard line. A timeout taken by Vegas. That's its second. Coming to the line for another first and 10.
First down, Raiders.
Ready. Cut.
From the red zone now. That'll be incomplete, and the clock shows 10 seconds left.
Even the best of them can be hurried into a throw before they're ready, and that pressure just messed up all the timing, the rhythm, and the clock of the quarterback.
Green jack. Set. Black 40. Fury. Yellow. Ready.
Still sticking with the passing game. He's going to score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. The Raiders will add to their lead at the end of the half. Brock Bowers, the touchdown. His second scoring catch of the game. That one right down the middle. And the Raiders double their lead to 14.
Chase McLaughlin set to go.
Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. Fielded at the 7. He dodged the tackle. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. Probably looking at our final snap of the half here on first down. Design quarterback run here. So a two-score game here at the break. Some work to be done as we get ready for the EA Sports Halftime Report with Scott Hanson. Scott?
All right, Kate, thanks very much. The first month of the season has come and gone. Some early surprises, some early disappointments as well. Let's get into it. Our trip around the NFL starts now, and it starts with a good one in the NFC West. And it's Brock Purdy. He's going to find his man, and he did plenty of that. One of 5 touchdown passes on the afternoon. From there, it's off to Tampa. Let's look in on the Buccaneers as they host the Denver Broncos. And this is the Bucs quarterback. He gets this one complete, 6-yard touchdown pass. The Buccaneers with an important W. They didn't want to start 1-4, and they won't following their victory here. Lastly, let's get down to Miami, the Dolphins taking on the Detroit Lions. And here is the running back. He's going to deliver in the red zone to the end zone, 12-yard touchdown run. And time for one more look at the rest of the scores from around the National Football League. Meanwhile, in our game, both teams have been able to move the ball effectively. It might be a question of which defense can make a stand in the second half. As we send you back out to the broadcast team, Kate Scott and Brock Heward.
Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. Returning it from the 4. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Raiders just about ready for this one. It's 1st and 10. They'll start the second half with ETN. And they blow up the opening play of this drive. Love the aggressiveness from this defense. Gave away a couple on the first down run. Now it's going to be 2nd and 12.
2nd and 12.
Let's go now.
26-yard line.
ETN again. He's got a gain of 6 there. Josiah Stewart there to make the stop.
Some backs are easier to tackle than others. Some, well, they just choose violence. They look for those opportunities to bust through tackles and keep those legs pumping.
To the air on 3rd and long. Short throw is dropped. This one Complete.
You know, Kate, with the game that they put together, it's surprising to see them really run into any hiccups when they appear. They move the ball very well throughout, just unsuccessful on that third down.
6 yards to the line. The offense is going to go for this.
Down. Dog red. Yellow. 22. Hut.
They're going for this. Hits him on the out route. And he's going to get this down inside the 30 before he's driven out. One of their biggest plays of the game so far, and it comes on a 4th down gamble. So the big play has him well into enemy territory and field goal range. They're inside the 30. So call it a half dozen on that run block. It's 2nd down.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
Watch out now. 52. 10.
Looking for a pass on 2nd and short. And the defender comes away with it.
Well, they're in danger going back to somebody who's already done damage in this game. He makes himself, well, he's a top target, but he makes himself a priority for this defense to defend, and they jumped on that opportunity.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here's Hampton, open and drive. And this drive's quickly headed in the wrong direction. First play set down behind the line. Their dominance against this ground game rolls on, Brock. Add another stop to what's going to be some real nice film for them to watch.
How many times do you think in your lifetime, Kate, you've heard from a defensive coordinator, job number 1 is?
Something up.
And they've been doing it.
Decent gain here, but short of the first.
It's a gain of 9. Makes it
3rd and 4 coming up now.
Set.
They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. Herbert now to throw on 3rd. Pressure's there, and he goes down again. And their 4th sack of the game, Brock, brings up 4th down. The Chargers lined up in punt formation. He'll start from the 39. And a good return as he gets him up across midfield and into enemy territory. Time for the Raiders offense to hit the field. 1st and 10 from the 43. Their last series sure was looking like points up until that interception, Brock. Hopefully they can move the ball similarly well as they take over here. Good rip on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 2.
Cool thing about a drive starting run like that, Kate, is it really just gives you every opportunity to play, but whatever you want to do. As for me, I like to reward that runner. Give it to him again and see if he can get you a new set of downs.
Looked well downfield for that one. All he found was a waiting defender to knock it away. 3rd down coming up. Throwing now on 3rd and 2. Got his man. Thomas has it. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
It's a gain of 6. 1st down, Raiders.
Pass play now. Completes another one to Thomas. And he's brought down. They're going to mark him at the 14. Trying to work quickly now.
A gain of 15.
Working inside the red zone. This one's caught. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. Everybody rushing back to the line.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4. At the Chargers' 9-yard line.
Ready?
Sticking to the air here. And he's in. Touchdown, Las Vegas. The Raiders stretch their lead to a 3-score advantage. Brock Bowers, the touchdown. His 3rd through the air this game. That one splits the uprights. And the Raiders stretch their lead to 21.
Chase McLaughlin sets to kick off.
McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. Starting at the 10. Escapes the defender. He's stopped on the run back of the 27. The Chargers offense getting set to take over. They're down 21 now after that last score and in need of a comeback as we work through this game. Here's Herbert, 1st and 10. Fits it through the middle. And he has it right near midfield here. Looks like about a yard short. They get 23 on that one. And that's going to give the Chargers the first down.
First down.
Set.
First and 10 at the 49.
To throw, Herbert. Short pass brought in. And just gets back to the line of scrimmage.
You know, I've learned over the years, defensively, they call that the camera club. How many different guys can get rallying to the football? So that last shot you see on camera, you see as many defenders keeping that to a 0-yard gain. That's well done defensively.
Shotgun snap to Herbert. Oh, they're on him, and he's dropped again. And the sack forces a now tougher third down.
This overwhelming pressure and these sacks after sacks after sacks. Well, it's built this lead, and you know it's the way they want to finish it.
Herbert here, third and long. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Man, that was a chain mover if he would have held on, Brock, but the contact just too much to do so.
Yeah, he's going to be disappointed in himself because you've got to make these contested catches, but I do give a lot of credit. An outstanding effort defensively to force that ball out.
He gets his offense in better field position here to start. Up close to the 30. The Las Vegas offense is set. First and 10.
Come on, set. Yellow, 20, 12, set.
On the ground to begin this drive with Etienne. And the stop is made just before he's able to reach that midfield stripe. It's a gain of 21 yards to pick up that first down. One play in, and they are already close to midfield.
Here we ready.
Going to the ground again on first. His charge towards the line. It's right around 3 yards.
That's the kind of run play that feels like tug-of-war at field day. And you're just not moving the other side. Just a short run. Neither side feels particularly good about it. And we'll move to the next.
It isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. Third down coming up.
Kate, I've seen a one-step drop. I've seen a 3, a 5, a 7. Some of the boots and play actions get more depth. But a 20-step drop? That's not going to cut it. Except for this defense, it just adds a whole bunch of negative yards to that play.
Couldn't connect with Dante Thornton Jr. And that brings up fourth and long.
You know, I say this all the time. You get down there to the red zone, and things happen so fast. Those windows close in a hurry. The quarterback's fortunate that was one hand and not two hands that got on the football.
Yellow, 43. Blaster, 6. Ready.
Here's the snap on fourth. No place to go. They get him to the turf and force a turnover on downs.
Well, this one never had a chance. Between the pressure right there in his face and the coverage downfield, quarterback still should have at least thrown it up there and given somebody an opportunity to make a play.
Oh, man, nothing for him again, Brock. It has been a struggle all game as this one's quickly mocked up too.
This offense is now left with some ground to make up a little bit here on second down after that drive starts with a very minimal gain.
Set. Go.
Herbert back to throw. On him quick, and they bring it down. And this defense going to try to hang on to that momentum, Brock, as they go for another stop on third down.
It's now third down.
Set. Delta. Set. Delta.
Here he goes, third and long. Downfield, and he has McConkey. They're going to stop him, but he... Not enough to make it first and goal from the 8.
This entire play, Kate, depends on how well he could separate from his man. You get man-to-man coverage, it's really about two things, separation and trust. Because QBs want to throw it before he breaks.
And then he's caught in the end zone for the LA touchdown. The Chargers shave some off the deficit late in the quarter. Dicker on now for the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Chargers get it back to a 14-point game.
42. Chargers 28.
Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away.
For the Chargers.
Turpin with a return. And he's brought down just inside the 25. The Vegas offense getting set for another drive down. And unsurprisingly, Brock, a great day on the scoreboard so far for him. Has him with the advantage as we move through this third quarter.
Ready. 45. White. Black shot. Hut, hut.
Now come out throwing. Has him on the quick hitter. And he'll take it up to the 30 before being brought down. Offensive line, this is 2nd and 4.
Let's go. Blue striker.
They're going to try and throw it here. Has some daylight through the 40. He's going to get this one into enemy territory to the 47. All right, we've reached the final quarter of Monday Night Primetime. It's the Raiders up by multiple touchdowns, and they've got the football. Here's 1st and 10 from the 47.
Hut.
They'll give this up the middle to ETN. And there's the stop, but he's got 9 yards on 1st down.
That's just not the guy defensively you ever want in the open field. Frankly, with the amount of space he had at one point, they're lucky to have limited to the game they did.
And they're going to keep moving forward, Brock, down inside the opposing 30. Even 10-yard gain on the play. And that's a Vegas 1st down.
First down, Raiders.
Trying to throw this from the gun. He's got it to him yet again. That is caught. And he's going to be stopped at the 17-yard line.
Well, things weren't about to end after the first hit or the second. Sutton had a vision for what he wanted to happen after the catch. He was going to take on all comers to try to make it a reality.
And he stopped, give him about 7 on the play, and give his offense a 1st and goal.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
First and goal now as they try to pad this lead.
Ready, ready. 33, yellow.
Go ahead, baby. Go ahead, baby. Go, 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 go.
Set.
Goal to go. It's a pass play. Dumps it off to his running back. And that right there is the start of what could be a goal line stand. They hit him for a loss on 1st and goal.
I know coordinator, quarterback going to be upset with that 1st down because you call a screen on 1st, you're thinking stay ahead of schedule. Even a minimal gain to stay on pace, but instead, the defense creates a negative play and sets them back.
Touchdown, Vegas. The Raiders make it a 3-score game in the 4th. Brian Thomas Jr., the touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. Well, as they drive forward to what right now looks like it should be a win, Brock. He sure has taken advantage of a nice little chance to boost his stat line. His 2nd touchdown of the game.
Yeah, you just kind of feel these two building some trust, right? Just more and more equity. Certainly paying dividends in this one, but more than likely for more games to come.
McLaughlin attack on the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Raiders stretch their lead to 21.
Chase McLaughlin set to kick off.
McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback. Now LA getting its offense all set to go. And scoring hasn't been the issue for him, Brock, but it has been impossible to hold pace with the offense on the other side of this football field.
And we know they can't get this all back in one play, but they better do it with a sense of urgency.
Hits him downfield. This is Harris. And he's all the way across midfield, down inside that 45-yard line. One play in, Brock, and this drive is already in enemy territory.
First down. First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Throwing on first is Herbert. He goes back to him yet again. Complete. And he will wind up out of bounds after a first down gain of right around 3 yards. Second and 6 coming up here.
4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6.
Working from the gun here. It's Herbert. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Ray Harris, the intended target there. And now they're going to face third down.
And 6 yards to go.
They'll throw third and long. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete.
Well, that took some force right there. That took some serious defensive effort to force the incompletion. You're not going to see a lot of guys ever let go of a football when they got a first down right in their midst. But that force, that contact, separated man from ball.
Now can't blame him looking at that scoreboard, right? Might as well go for this on fourth down. Backfield is empty as they motion him out right. Desperation time here on fourth. Going all the way to the end zone here. And that's incomplete in the end zone. Could have been 6 points, but as that one falls, Brock, instead just a turnover on downs. Good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up first and 10.
Ready.
They'll throw to begin this drive. It's Bowers with another catch. And they will stop him as he gets this down to their 39-yard line. This is the type of performance a former quarterback just like yourself, Brock, can marvel at. He's carried a great performance through much of this game. Even as the defense adjusted, tried to slow him down, none of it mattered.
I like the way you say that right there, Kate, because these moments the game does slow down. It is so fast on the field for the normal person, but when a QB's in a rhythm like this, the game is slow and he is dicing it.
They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
And keep this drive moving, partner. Here's another first and 10. Looking to throw here. Hits him on the out route. And they take him out of bounds, which means his offense setting up for first and goal.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
They'll break the huddle and come up on first and goal. From the red zone on first. And into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Las Vegas. The Raiders put up even more points in a win. Brock Bowers, the touchdown. McLaughlin attack on the extra point. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Raiders continue piling onto this lead.
Chargers 28. Chase McLaughlin set to kick off.
McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. Here's a return from the 7. Jukes away from one. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. The Charger offense making its way to the field. And after they were stopped on fourth down their prior possession, Brock, you got to wonder if they're going to be confident enough to go for it again if they get to that point here. All right, working from the gun to start. First and 10. Shotgun gig to Hampton. And he's out of bounds, but what a great play there, Brock. He's got him into field goal range. They rip off a huge chunk of field as the downs reset.
Anytime you get that chunk of yards, gosh, you can just feel it in the stadium. It just changes the whole complexion of the drive. They're now set up beautifully in enemy territory to end this series with points.
It's caught left side by Harris. And they get this down to the 12-yard line before being stopped.
It's a gain of
Offense
18.
getting set. Here's 1st and 10.
It's another Chargers
From the red zone now. Brought in. And they bring him down at the 7-yard line.
That's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
Hampton now up the middle. And 2 yards all he can get. It's 3rd down.
He was brought down at the 4-yard line. It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 2.
Back to Hampton. And the run will not work. He is soft at the line. This is going to be 4th and short. It's the 2-minute warning here in L.A. Chargers hoping to do some window dressing in the time remaining. Down big, they're going to exhaust all options, it appears. The offense lining up to go for this. Trying with Hampton. And they stop him. No touchdown, no first down. That's a turnover on downs near the end zone.
Hey, I get it, it's already over, but go down swinging. Unfortunately, that play, like so many of them today, Kate, has been pretty indicative of how this contest has gone.
Out comes Las Vegas on offense. And they should just be able to kneel out what time remains. There's 3 timeouts defensively still available, but using them is not going to alter this outcome.
Come on, Sam.
They're going to pass it here. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
Here we go, set. 10 flag. Green jack.
Oh, Gronk, look at this. He's setting up to throw it. Finds a seam down the middle. And they will finally catch up to him just a second before he could reach that 40. Working fast as the clock ticks towards 0.
Yards. First down, Raiders.
Back to pass on 1st and 10. This is Cox. That's Bowers working downfield. And he's going to have this one down to the 28.
A gain of 34 yards. And a Raider first down.
Sticking to the air here. Taking the deep shot there on 1st down. Okay, no luck connecting. It's incomplete.
Junior. Incomplete.
2nd and 10, still at the 28.
Derwin James on the coverage.
Ready, right.
He's going to throw it again. Short pass brought in. It's inside the 10. And they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal here from the 7.
Hurry.
Even with this lead, keeping the pedal down.
First and goal, Raiders.
Ready.
Working inside the red zone. The shot to the end zone is incomplete. That throw doesn't lead to 6. So now it'll be 2nd and goal.
As I watch practices today, Kate, both college and professionally, one thing is abundantly clear. Teams spend so much more time in the red zone. They know it's the money zone. And defensively, if you can force incompletions and knock it away and leave teams for field goals, you got a great chance to win.
3rd and goal now as they try to pile on further. Back now, pressure coming. And they're not stopping the destruction, partner. That is caught. Touchdown. The Raiders keep running away with this. Brock Bowers, the touchdown. The 5th of the game for him, tying the NFL single-game record. That one right down the middle. And the Raiders grow their lead yet again.
Chase McLaughlin set to kick off.
McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. Return coming from the 6. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. Out comes the offense now for the Chargers. And they'll get one final chance in a game that, to put it mildly, Brock, has been a bit of a miserable experience for him. First call here coming from the shotgun.
Set. Lion.
Shotgun snap to Herbert. And someone stepped in. It's intercepted. And the Raiders get it back after a marvelous defensive effort.
Well, these were the kind of plays they needed, frankly, earlier in the game when it was still somewhat close. By this point, still a great play, but a bit of a hollow highlight with the game already decided.
Oh, baby, he gets rocked and the ball is out. And it's scooped up by the Chargers. And that right there is going to be the spot they take over as they pick up a couple extra yards on the fumble return. So the Chargers start off with good field position as they get ready for 1st and 10. Shaking off the pit quickly. He's going to throw. Makes the catch, but does not do it in bounds. Looks like he came down on that sideline. 2nd down coming up.
Nate Wiggins on the coverage.
Set. Grenading. Go.
A play fake. Now Herbert to throw. That's more of the catch out left. And it won't matter in the end, but nevertheless, he's in for the late touchdown. The Chargers making the scoreboard look a touch better. DJ Moore, the touchdown. Dicker's extra point is up and good. And the Chargers cut the lead down to a more manageable 28 points. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away.
The kickoff for the Chargers.
And this is going to bounce out of the end zone, so they will set up shop at the 35. The Raiders headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And he has continued to own this defense and keep on throwing that football, partner, making this performance one that he's going to remember, but as you like to say, the defense would probably rather forget. Oh, no, they get him yet again. And he takes it in for the touchdown. Great defensive effort late, even if this one's decided. Dicker on now for the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Chargers cut the lead by a quarter, down now to 21. Well, Brock, hopefully some short memories on offense as they get it right back here on the kickoff after that pick six. And it goes for a touchback, so time enough for one, maybe two final plays here. A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go. Black, 95, ready.
Back to work they go after the interception. That's complete to Bowers outright. And they're going to bring him down just a moment before he's able to break it across midfield. Officials signaling for a timeout, and with 5 seconds remaining, just one last play left in this one. He's going to push one deep down the road. Oh, brother, it's another interception. And he's out the clear. Hits the 20. And the Chargers make the interception on what is the final play of this game. So put this in the win column for the Raiders. Well, Brock, I know you know this. There is good trips home.